I think that a lot of Americans think that people from India are smart. They're really into cricket. They like spicy food. They do a lot of stuff with computers, but people still have trouble seeing any type of Indian city that's industrialized in the way that an American city might be. I think people see it as a very rural area, despite what the truth might actually be.
Well, I hear they eat a lot of curry.
Another one is that it's an extremely religious society. Everyone has kind of, a pretty religious background when it comes to education. The culture is kind of saturated with Hindu tradition and what else? Again, like another one would be like typical of kind of Asian countries that, citizens are kind of less social, kind of more passive beings in general.
What I've seen in the movies, I think they're somewhat accurate, but the thing is that India developed so much in the last few decades, and it's still developing so fast that the change comes, even in the culture, it comes really fast.
I mean, it's definitely not the same as here in the sense that I would say that it's still a young society. We've been independent like 60 years or so. So I mean, I think that we haven't developed as much as you guys have, maybe in terms of men and women being equal, but we are getting there. I mean, I guess when you guys look at us, you would see the stereotypes more than you'd see what we have in common. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
okay.
So I would say that arranged marriages. I would say that it would something like a woman not finding a man because she's too old or because she's beyond the marriageable age wouldn't happen in America. So you guys would notice that more. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So I would say that they're not necessarily outdated. It's just that its ways were different from you guys.
That's very good. What you said. You notice the differences more than the similarities.
Yeah.
But there's more similarities than differences.
I mean, I would say that there are a lot of similarities and there are a lot of differences as well.
Right.
It's a totally different culture.
Right. Okay. Okay. Very good. And then the last one here is living at home with your parents or your parents and grandparents.
I mean, again, it's like a culture. It's a cultural thing again, because I mean, over here, losers live with their parents basically beyond a certain age. Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, it's just the way it works in India, as in the sense that your parents take care of you until you're about 20 to 25, and when you start earning enough, you take care of them for the rest of their lives.
Right.
So it's like a give and take thing. So.
I don't think the jobs that are being taken by those people outside of America would be filled by Americans, so it helps our economy, but then at the same time those people are kind of being exploited and aren't really getting or working for fair wages and such.
Yeah, well, there's that, but then it's also that they're also providing jobs that they may not have in the first place as well.
I think outsourcing is kind of a tough subject. I mean, I think you have to look at the developed Asian miracles of the last 30 years, South Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Singapore, that all were economically prosperous because they used sweatshops, because that was the best job that these people have. I mean, there's a law passed, I think, in China or something that in a certain area it forced sweatshop kids actually out of sweatshops, so they didn't have to work there, but they were actually forced into prostitution. So I think that's a huge benefit to these countries. At the same time, you have needles going through these kids' hands. I mean, out of sheer altruism, Nike should pay their workers more, but it makes sense economically that it doesn't.
I would think it's moral if it's what a company's trying to do. Welcome back to nothing exactly immoral about it. It's taking jobs away from Americans, but it's business. Business is business.
Yeah, they take away jobs, but arguably the best sort of poor alleviator of the last 20 years has been Walmart, because they provide these outsourced jobs are providing cheap products for people who shop at Walmart, and prices have never been as low as anywhere since they've been at Walmart. And so that the guy in Detroit loses his job, but millions of low-income Americans benefit off of Walmart. But I still think you need to have sort of a case-by-case basis of welfare. I mean, they can actually pinpoint certain huge factories that are closing, in Detroit and stuff. And if you know that factory is closing, I think the ethical thing to do would be to retrain specifically those workers. That way, you're actually reaching out to the people who've been affected by this.
Dude, what did they mean by Indian expert?
Like the accent?
They might have meant a professor.
No.